Greetings, Masandawana. We are back with another installment at the Yellow Corner, bringing you the preview of our Betway Premiership Game Week 24 fixture as we travel to Cape Town to take on Cape Town City on Saturday night at 8 o'clock at the Cape Town Stadium. Raps, welcome back.
It's great to be back and it's great to be shooting some content with you. I know I've been missing in a couple of the previews, but it is so nice to be back, man.
Guys, there needs to be a clarification with what I said on the last preview when I mentioned the Sundowns players selected for Bafana duty to go to Malawi to take on Malawi Mochen, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Chen, yeah. I was just surprised as everyone when I saw Mali, Neo, as well as Mashiko, Jody Bayetanto walk before the game started. I thought, and not even I thought, the official Safa or Bafana Twitter page posted a squad and a link to the website, yeah, Safa, and that link or story on that website said those guys, everyone that's been selected, will report for national duty on the 28th of April, which was the previous Monday. So my information was not wrong. It came from an official account. I then watched the game this morning, and I had Grant Bissett say, Sundowns. It seems as if Sundowns Safa had an agreement that Sundowns will release Johannes and as well as Peters in exchange of the guys that I had mentioned because the club needed them, And as you know, the clubs are not bound to duty bound to release these players, as this is not these games don't play on the FIFA International weekend. So I think it was that agreement between the two parties, Sundowns and Safa. So I was not wrong. I'm sure a lot of you thought, Tabiso lied to us. I didn't lie. That was the official Safa. I'll actually post the pictures, yeah, the national team and the statement that I read from the Safa page. Speaking of national teams, man, we need to wish Asekotiwan a speedy recovery, man. He got injured on our first game, yeah, under 20 national team when we played Egypt on Sunday. I didn't see the injury. I was still watching Liverpool and celebrating. Apparently, he suffered a bad injury, and I'm glad I didn't see it. So, wishing Aseko a very, very speedy recovery, man. Hopefully, he will be back with us in the near future, man. Now that all that is out of the way, let's talk football. Perhaps thoughts on our win against Richards Bay on Wednesday?
I think I expected a lot of changes in our lineup. I was kind of shocked that the coach didn't make a lot of changes in our lineup, and he kept some of the regular guys on the lineup. And I think we did quite well. And more especially, I was so impressed on how we showed intent in terms of trying to get an early goal. And eventually, we managed to get that early goal and gave us total control of the game, dictated the game until Richard Bay had to respond in terms of looking for a goal and trying to get something out of the game. And that's when it became open and we managed to score two more goals again, and the game finished with 3-0. So I'm quite impressed with our performance and also individual performance of the guys, and also the players that came on from the sub. I think they had a good impact when they came on. The likes of Bless, he also kept the standard of the game at a good level when we replaced Mkwe, and also Adamson. He did quite well, and Mushesh, as much as he didn't have a couple of good moments, but I think our subs also performed very well, man. I think it is a good result for us, 3 goals, and we kept a clean sheet and 3 points, and we stretched the gap in terms of the points even further, man.
Yeah, no, I honestly don't have much to say. Happy with everything. I got exactly what I asked for of from this game, so I'm happy, man. There's nothing more to say. I got the performance that I wanted, the result that I wanted. I had predicted 2-0, but I even got extra goals. So happy with everything, man. We haven't had a chance to record a preview really too for quite some time now, and I think since Tembazwane renewed his contract with Sundowns for one more year, we haven't had a chance to talk about it. Your thoughts on Shika's 1 year extension?
I think he deserved it, man. I think he deserved it as much as the age he is growing, but with the that he showed, I think an extension of the contract and going to the World Cup, World Cup, man. I think Shika needs to be there, man. Like there's no any other player that deserved to be there except Shika because of how he has contributed to the Mamelodi Sundowns success. And also, like I've said, the loyalty that he showed to the team, and he has been with Mamelodi Sundowns through thick and thin, man. Like when we were struggling, when things were going south for us, but Shika was always there. So I think it is so exciting to see him at a stage whereby Sundowns it is excelling. We are doing well. We are collecting trophies. So I think he deserves it, man. And lastly, I think I want Shika to retire at Mamelodi Sundowns, man. I think everyone wants that, man. Like you don't want a player who has served you so long and go and retire at somewhere else, man. You want them to retire in Mamelodi Sundowns, and you want him to play the last game of his football career wearing a jersey Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club. So I'm excited that the team, the negotiations were successful in terms of the renewal of his contract, man.
Same here, man. Same here, man. I was so happy, man. And the renewal was announced on Easter Friday, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a bit of tension amongst us Mamelodi Sundowns fans on social media before that. But once the club announced that, man, no, everyone was happy, man. And nobody deserves it more than Shika, man. He's been an amazing servant of the club, man. And like you say, him going to the Club World Cup, and yeah, man, one more year with Shika. Who knows? Maybe he will do a shoes mushwe, man, and keep going, And as long as he keeps performing, maybe he might get another extension, But I'm happy, man. He's been a great servant of the club, a true professional. You never hear stories about Shika, man, and you can tell kind of respect that he gets amongst his teammates, not just the youngsters, Mutimi. Everyone respects Tembazwane. And I think his orange, when Temba is around, everyone, even senior players, believe or not, something can happen, man. Like even the fan base, his first game back when he played the first leg against Al Ahly, when he went to warm up around the 12th minute, man, Loftus went mad, man. I was like, yo, just warm up. We knew he was not going to be sub on around the 12th minute. He was just keeping warm, but yeah, man. So really, really happy with Msheshe's extension, man. Let's talk about our opponents this coming weekend, man. Cape Town City. What the hell happened at Cape Town City this season? And do you think they will go to the playoffs? Because I think no one is too good to get relegated, man. You might be a good team, but if you say Chunispan ground, you will go down. You will go down, And Cape Town City are not too good to get relegated with all the good and very good players that they have and amazing management. It doesn't mean they can't get relegated, But I think their problem started at the beginning of the season. I think Eric Tinkler overstayed his welcome at Cape Town City, man. I think they should have gone and looked for a new coach in the beginning of the season, But I'm not just going to blame Eric. Players, man, also need to take a lot of responsibility with where the club finds itself right now. Because let's be honest, that squad is too damn good to be where they are right now, I know I said they're not too good to get relegated, but they're too good, way too talented to be where they are. So I think a lot of their players let the team down this season. They didn't perform as well as one would have expected, And that poor start, man, I think it had a huge effect on where they find themselves. They just couldn't wake up from that slumber. They are finding it difficult. It's like when you go into a game against a team that you know that you are miles better than, but you don't show them respect. At the beginning of the game, you're thinking, we have already won the game before the game started. But this team scores the first goal, second goal, and then when you want to raise your game, the tempo and try fight your way back into the game, it's now difficult. Now psychologically you're struggling, you're doubting yourself. Now I think that's exactly what happened to Cape Town City this season. Another thing is they are struggling in front of goal, man. I think all in the PSL this season they've scored 14 goals only. Like since the beginning of the season, they are left with 3 games before the season ends, but they've only scored 14 goals. They miss Mayo so much. Mayo's departure hit them big time because when you look at the fact that Mayo in the last 2 seasons, Alego Cape Town City, he scored 10 and 12 goals more leaking fell. Yet this season, they've only scored 4. So that tells you about how blunt they are in front of goal. They've got a lot of good players who can play up top, but not as players who lead the line. Like not killers up there. Do I think they're going to the playoffs? I think so. I think they have their last 3 games are difficult, man. They are difficult. I do not see them collecting a lot of points from their last 3 games, because it's Sundowns at home, followed by Polokwane away, and their last game is against Stellies at home, and Stellies will be fighting to get into Confed once again this season. So it will be really, really tough for them. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, as Cape Town City, they are really struggling, man. And one wouldn't have thought that they will be where they are at this stage of the season, considering how they performed last season, whereby they finished number 5 on the log, and they performed quite well, man. One would expect that they will try and maintain that squad, but one key point that you highlighted is how Eric Tinkler has overstayed himself at the club, man. And look at some stage, like Cape Town City, they were just stagnant, man. They were not improving, they were not challenging as they were in terms of domestic tournaments, whereby they will beat big teams and go to the finals. So I think they were just stagnant. You couldn't see the improvement. And lastly, when we were reviewing our game against Skukune, when Skukune released Siema, and we were speaking about Hink. Another key point that you mentioned is that the players failed. Some of the players failed to improve under Eric Tinkler. So I think that had an impact on the performance of the team as well. And in the beginning of the season, I think they made some good signings, but bringing on the likes of the one that our former player, number 10 year Cape Town City.
10 Cape Town City. Oh, Anagema who went to Morocco as well, man.
Yeah.
From Vets, man. Anagema
I forgot his name as well. So you thought those signings that they made, they will help the team to improve, and also the experienced players that they managed to sign, the likes of Fortune Makaringe as well, and bringing on Nyama as well. You think that they're still gonna challenge because of they have a good team full of experienced players, and also Fasika came back from Europe. They signed Serrero, so you'd think that you'd see an improvement based off the signings that they've made. But I see them going to the playoffs, man. I see them going to the playoffs, but knowing how our playoffs are, man, they are likely to come back next season, man. So I think we're still gonna see more of Cape Town City in the PSL next season. But sometimes football might surprise us. But with also the impact that they've made on our league, man, you'd want them to stay because of they give the league more competition, man. So you want teams like Cape Town City to keep their standard on the PSL so that the competition of the league or the standard of the league becomes of a good standard, because of the more our standard of the league drops, the more Sundowns is likely to continue doing well, because of that means if Cape Town City gets relegated, that means there's one a threat that is eliminated in our league. So I think I still want to see more of Cape Town City, but I want them to be competitive. And lastly, as we know how Cape Town City is well run, man. Like what they do outside the pitch of football, their management, man, they are doing wonders on that team. So yeah, no, that's where I will end, guys.
I agree with you. More so, your last sentence, man. I forgot to mention it too. Cape Town City is one well-run team, like you never hear complaints, got anything, but you can tell from the outside looking in, Mr. Comitas is doing a great job. We might disagree with him when it comes to other things, statements that he makes at times, but he knows what he's doing, and it would be a shame to lose a team like Cape Town City. Honestly speaking, I do not want Cape Town City to be relegated. I don't. I have no relations or anything links with them, but I hope they do stay up, man. What do you any thoughts? What do you expect from our game, Lebona, on Saturday?
I think this might be a tricky game, eh? So, like they are struggling, but there's some feeling within me that tells me that this might be a tricky game, not as easy as one would think, judging on the positions of these two teams, because of we are number one on the log and they are number 15 on the log. So I'm expecting a tricky game because of they want to redeem themselves, and now they know that every game it is a final game. Like they have to come out with positive points. But what I've seen from this Cape Town City side, as much as they are struggling, man, they are less confident, man. Like, in some instances, there are teams that they are struggling, but you can see that they still want to fight. The drive is still there. The confidence is still there. But you look at the Cape Town City, like, even on the field of play, man, like, the body language tells you something. You even ask yourself, are these players still wants to play for the team? So I think as for Sundowns, we need to capitalize because of they look vulnerable, man. Like they look entirely vulnerable, and we need to use that as our advantage. And on the back, man, like most of their problems come from at the back, man. Like the silly goals that they concede, the mistakes that they concede, they are failing to clear the line. There's also a poor marking, and you look at the goal that they conceded against Kukune, man, where Nyama tried to protect the ball instead of clearing the ball, and he thought Darren Kit will come out and get hold of the ball, but the striker of Kukune react much quicker, and they managed to put the ball at the back of the net. So those are the smaller mistakes that we told at the positional of Cape Town City by Tolaga Rayon, and also because of Cape Town City, they've been known as an offensive team, whether they are struggling or not. You'd find Chiza bombing forward, Nyama bombing forward, and that creates a lot of 2v2s, more especially when they had to defend the teams that are making a counter attack, and sometimes they're struggling to defend those situations because of it takes a while for Nyama and Mukhize to track back. And we find both Fortune Makaringa and Kamuela coach at the middle of the park. They take too long also to provide cover for their fullbacks who are always bombing forward. And I feel like on the middle field, man, Cape Town City, they don't control the game as much they used to, man. And they have good football players and good players that are position orientated, like the likes of Gojo as well as Makaringi, but I don't see them dominating the middle field like we normally know them. And I think for Mamelodi Sundowns as the team that we are likely to dominate the middle field, and some of our chances come from deep in the middle field. You look at the goal that we uh, uh, Salis scored, man. It came from deep, whereby Tebza played the ball behind the defense of Richards Bay. And for Cape Town City, if you don't be able to react quicker when our midfielders have the ball, you are likely to get punished because we don't only create chances when we are around the final third, man. We also create chances when we are deep on the middle field. And another typical example would be the goal of Peter Shalulile when he played Esperance at Loftus, when Ribeiro was too deep and he played the ball over the defense of Esperance, and Adams managed to bring the ball inside the center zone, and Shalulile managed to tap in. So I think in the middle field, of course, Cape Town City have to react quicker. They have to ensure that they force Mamelodi Sundowns to play a lot of passes as the back passes as well. And as much as they are struggling Cape Town City, but I believe that they still have some danger or threat within them because of they have the pace up front. They have the likes of Rhodes, Francis, and they also have Sokuna who is more pacey, as well as Hudeman who's also not have been featured so much this season. So I think that the threat from Cape Town City might come from them playing on transition and punishing us. But that requires us as Mamelodi Sundowns to have a proper rest defense so that we know that once we lose the ball, we need to ensure we stop the transition from going any further and we claim or we win the ball back. And for us, man, I think it is key to dominate the middle field, but we need to dominate by being effective on the middle field. There was, I think, against Richards Bay, there was a moment where I think the game was too easy for us, and I started seeing us being slow, man. Maybe once it is arrogance or it is control of the game, but there are some stage where I saw us our game is very easy for one, and you could see the body language of the players here and there, but it didn't happen so long. And I think that we need to make more progressive passes, man. As much as we want to control the game when we are 1-0 or 2-0 ahead, but we need to make progressive passes and we need to ensure we score as many goals as we can. And scoring as many goals as we can do not only help us on the game that you are playing, it also boosts our confidence going to more crucial games that you are going to play because you're still going to play the CAF final. And once you are able to score more goals before you play that crucial final, I think it will be a great confidence booster for us. So I think scoring more goals, I think it is more important at this stage, and also keeping the clean sheet. And also, we need to ensure that we put their defense under a lot of pressure. They make a lot of mistakes on the ball, and also they are always caught ball watching. So we need to ensure that we are always putting pressure on the defense of Cape Town City, man.
Sure, Ups. Great views as always, even though I don't agree with some of them, more so the one here as maybe being taking our foot off the pedal. I think game management is key right now. Once you're leading 2-3, there's no need to take a lot of risks, like to avoid injuries, but just that we almost out of time, I would have liked to go more in depth with regards to that, but everything else, I'm on the same page as you. Yeah, I mean, it's another playing another side that's fighting for their lives. So, like you said, it will not be easy. They will fight tooth and nail. So, it won't be easy at all for us. More gaming, like you also mentioned confidence. It is definitely at its lowest right now because it's 0 wins out of their last 13 games, 10 defeats and 3 draws. So, their confidence is very, very low at this point in time. And the best way to play against such a side is to score before them, and you kill whatever is left of their confidence, And the other thing with scoring first is that you now force them to attack with more numbers because losing 1-0 and losing 3-0 makes no difference to Cape Town City right now. So them sitting back after conceding won't help them with anything. So when they attack, they obviously open up the game, and it becomes easy for you to exploit these spaces because they are now vulnerable. So I think it is very, very important that we score the first goal of the match. I think Comitas is definitely going to put bonuses on the table because yeah, it's crunch time now for Cape Town City. So I won't be surprised to see a lot of their players, big name players, like seriously balling out
on Saturday. Like you said, I don't think this game will be as easy as a lot of people think it will be. Because it really is crunch time. You spoke about their defense, man. And Fasika for me hasn't been the same in certain games. Like I wonder if this has to do with lack of confidence, because Fasika is a damn good player, but in some games I'm like, he's out of character today. Like the goal that they considered against Marumo Gallant's Mahango's goal. Again, the game against Chiefs was sloppy. But I think it's because of how the team has been doing, and it has affected him and everyone around him. Their concentration and communication levels, man, they not good at all, man. The goal that you mentioned, when Yama tried to shield the guy who scored for Skukune, man. Him and Tinkler, that was such an easy situation to control. Another goal that they considered in the very game, man. You look at Mkize, he was clueless about where the men making the run behind or next to him while Skukune was. So I think this stems from one thing: loss of confidence. These guys are making mistakes that you wouldn't expect from professional players. I think, unlike you say maybe they might play on transition. It's difficult to play on transition in a must-win game. So I think that they will come at us and start fast, and we need to take the sting out of that, and then we knock the ball around and we quieten them down, like that wave attack, and then we take control of the game and take it to them, man. It is very difficult to play with your head in such game. The other side there, Cape Town City, because emotions take over, because you are desperate to win. You forget about the tactics. Like tactics go out of the window. And Sundowns is the worst possible team to play against when you are playing not without your heads. Being emotional, using your mind. So not using your mind. So I think it would be really, really difficult for them in this game, man. Let's get into lineups. Your lineup.
I think as much
Perhaps
as
wait. When you falling asleep, when you're about to fall asleep, you look like you're ready to pass out. And I thought there was no issue at that way because you were just staring at me like this.
no, I was still awake. So I don't sleep as much as I used to, man.
Okay, your lineup.
My lineup, as much as Dennis did well, I think I'll bring on our number one goalkeeper, Ronwen, and I'll make a couple of changes in our defense, man. I'll start Moren, I'll rest Kuliso. Then my centre back, I'll keep Koza as well as Grant. Then left back, I'll start Lunga, man. As much as Aubrey did very well in terms of how he inverted and how he helped us to have balance on the middle field, but I'll start Divine. On the middle field, I wanted Blesser and Adams in the middle field. I want to see them studying again together because of they came as subs against Richards Bay, and I think they did well. So I will take that risk, man. As much as I know you disagree with me, but I'll have
double pivot or as Badalaba eliminate double pivot.
Yes.
Nope.
Then my front four, I'll have Shika instead of Ribeiro. I'll have Salis, Reynas. The last one, I'll have Matthews as well.
I'm umuntu ahambisa game ufuna ukubuyisa Pirates manje. Perhaps I am not too sure about that lineup, man. I think I would have tried that against Richards Bay, not Cape Town City, man. But again, contract here, Allende ring, so forget it. Allende My lineup is Williams, Mudau, Kekan. I think Libusa is going to come back. I think he rested him. He said he rested him. So I think Koza will play against Chipa and Mudiba at left back. I think Divine might be injured, So I'll have Mudiba at left back and middle field three will be the normal Tebza, Allende, as well as Adams, and then my front three will be Ribeiro, Sales, and Shaludile. I think Shaludile was rested. I'm not sure about Shaludile, but I think he was rested. We've been going at this for a very long time. Let's finish this, man, and enjoy our holiday. Your score prediction?
I think we'll win 1-0.
Okay. I think we'll win this game 1-2, and yeah, a few more wins, it will be done, and yeah, whatever dreams that they had of winning this championship, the last dance, and getting banners, it's not happening. Not this season. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back, or I will be back. I know I'll be back. I'm not sure about a certain somebody for the next preview, which will be the preview of our Betway Premiership GW24 fixture against Chiba United at Loftus next week Wednesday. The preview will be, we'll drop it on Monday. Until then, sharp Masandawana, sharp raps.
Also, I would like to end this preview with these words. Liki ya sebeletso. Sharp, Masandawana.